This is part 2 of our video on how to analyze and understand a community using eCairn conversation. In part 1, we showed you different things such as how to see who are the top influencers in your community, how to understand who is talking about your brand, as well as who are the experts on a specific topic, and so we showed you how to understand the interconnectedness within the community by displaying a map showing how all the sources connect with each other. But there is a lot more that you can do in the Community tab. For example, you can star one or more sources to highlight those sources from the others, and when you do, you will be able to filter the conversations coming from those starred sources in the Conversation tab so that you can isolate those conversations from the rest. Also, when you have a long list of sources, maybe several hundreds, it may be very convenient to categorize them. And that's what you can do with labels and values. So here, in this particular example, we see we have 3 different labels: content, source, type, and then each label can have different values. So the source label has, as I can see, 2 different values here: individual and other. Those are really custom configured by you according to your business need. Now, if you want to filter the list to see only the sources that are device in the content label, you can do that very easily by going to the filter pane, choosing device, and now I have only 67 sources, and you can see they're all devices. To configure or change the label and values, you go to Manage Labels in Project Settings, and then there is a pop-up window showing all the configuration that you've done, and you can do the update that you want. Or when you start from scratch, you will be able to create your own labels and add your own values. Something else that we see in this particular example is this little icon. And when I mouse over the little icon, I see different information. Well, this is coming from the blog card. Remember, I talked about it in part 1, and the fact that you can enter personal information. So whenever you enter personal information in the blog card, and this little icon will appear next to the source title. In terms of filtering, we already talked about the filtering by topic, the filtering by influence. The filtering by source type will allow you to understand what kind of sources you have in your community. So here I'm going to click or unselect the first category, which is blog, and I click on that little button, and now I see all the other sources that I have in this project. Well, here I have only one Twitter search on HTC Android. They're coming from the search social media button, and when I click on that, you see I can basically configure some searches across various social media so that you don't have to do them outside of the application. Now, in terms of filtering, I already talked about the filtering by label. We can filter by title, so let's try Android. And now you see that my list is basically narrowed to only entries that have Android in their title. Next in the filter pane is the ability to filter by networks, and so you can filter by social networks or by advertising networks. So let's look at advertising network. This could be really valuable. So if I want to see the sources that accept Google AdWords, I just do that, and now I see I have 173 sources that have support for Google AdWords. And now I want to show you another functionality, which is the export. Now I can select all those sources, and I go to this drop-down menu, and I export as XLS, and that basically creates a little XLS file, which I can then import into Google AdWords, and I can sort of run a campaign in a couple of clicks. I mean, of course, you can use the export function to build a report and show the top 20 influencers in a specific community. You would basically select the first page, go to export XLS or export CSV, import that into your favorite editor to create your report, and bingo, you would have the list of the top 20 with the URL, the name, and other parameters that are in the database. Well, this is the end of part 2 of our video on analyzing and understanding a community in eCairn conversation. Thank you very much. Bye.